Most people believe that where you start determines where you finish. They think poverty is a cage with no key. But today, you will meet a boy who proved that the only real cage is the one you build in your mind. This is a story of a boy who had nothing but a dream, and the one word that changed his life forever. You are welcome to Silent True Lessons, an educational storytelling channel that teaches English and life lessons through relatable, inspirational, and motivational stories. We promise that you will learn a lot from our stories. Subscribe to this channel to enjoy our stories regularly. In a small, dusty village where the sun felt heavier than the burdens the people carried, lived a boy named Elias. While other children played with wooden toys, Elias spent his afternoons at the edge of the village market, collecting discarded newspapers and scraps of books. He lived with his grandmother in a shack made of tin and hope. They had very little to eat, but his grandmother always fed his spirit. "Elias," she would say, "the world can take your shoes, your food, and your home, but it can never take the lessons you put inside your head." Elias wanted to attend the prestigious St. Jude's Academy in the city. But to the villagers, this was a joke. "Look at your clothes, Elias," they laughed. "Stay in the dirt." But Elias had a secret weapon: persistence. One morning, Elias walked 15 miles to the gates of the academy. He stood outside the gate of the headmaster's office for 3 days. On the third day, the headmaster, Mr. Thorne, stepped out. "Why are you still here, boy? I told you yesterday we have no scholarships." Elias looked him in the eye. "Sir, I am not here to ask for a gift. I am here to prove my tenacity." Mr. Thorne paused. "Tenacity? Do you even know what it means?" Elias nodded. "Tenacity means you keep holding on, even when your hands are tired. It means you don't let go of your goal just because the wind is blowing against you. It is the strength to keep going when everyone else has stopped." Impressed by the boy's grit, Mr. Thorne allowed him to take a test in the dirt. Elias passed brilliantly, and the gates of the academy finally swung open for the boy of the dirt. But getting in was only the beginning of a much harder battle. On his first day, Elias stood in the grand hallway, his tattered clothes a sharp contrast to the silk uniforms of the other students. He was a shadow in a room full of gold. The wealthy students didn't see a classmate. They saw an intruder. His main rival was Julian, the son of a wealthy businessman. Julian made it his mission to ensure Elias felt unwelcome. He would kick Elias's books into the mud or whisper loud enough for everyone to hear. The smell of the village follows him everywhere. Elias had no money for the expensive textbooks required for the advanced courses. While the other boys went to their warm dormitories to sleep, Elias made a deal with the school janitor. In exchange for cleaning the entire library at midnight, Elias was allowed to stay and read the books he couldn't afford to buy. Days have turned to years. Elias grew in stature in a short time despite his poor condition. One night, the janitor, an old man named Silas, found Elias slumped over a heavy law book, his eyes red from exhaustion. "Why do you do this to yourself, boy?" Silas asked, handing him a crust of bread. "You work all day, clean all night, and study in the gaps. Most people would have quit months ago." Elias looked up, his voice raspy. "I am practicing persistence, Silas." "And what's the difference between that and the tenacity you told the headmaster about?" the old man asked. Elias leaned back, thinking. "Tenacity was what got me through the gate. It was the grip I had on my dream when they tried to push me away. But persistence, that is what I need now. Persistence is the daily habit of moving forward. It's not a single act of bravery. It's the quiet decision to wake up at 4 a.m. every single morning, even when your body aches. It is doing the same hard task over and over again until you master it. Tenacity is the hold, but persistence is the march. The ultimate test came in the final year, the Chancellor's Cup. It was a rigorous academic and debate competition. The winner would receive a full university scholarship and a gold medal. Julian was the favorite to win. He had private tutors and the best resources. Elias had only his midnight hours in the library and his notes written on the back of recycled paper. The competition lasted 3 days. On the final day of the debate, the topic was the foundation of a just society. Julian spoke eloquently about economy and power. He was polished and perfect. Then Elias stood up. He didn't speak of theories from expensive books. He spoke of the shacks made of tin and hope. He spoke about how a society is only as strong as the chance it gives to its weakest member. His English was no longer the broken dialect of the village. It was precise, powerful, and deeply moving. Halfway through his closing argument, the lights in the hall flickered and went out due to a sudden storm. The room fell into total darkness. The audience began to murmur in confusion. Julian froze, unable to see his prepared notes. But Elias didn't need notes. He had lived his words. In the pitch-black hall, his voice rang out even louder, steady and unshaken. He finished his speech in the dark, and when he was done, there was a silence so profound it felt like the world had stopped breathing. When the lights returned, the entire hall, including Mr. Thorne, was standing. Graduation day was a sea of blue and gold. Elias stood at the head of the class as the valedictorian. He hadn't just passed. He had broken every academic record in the history of St. Jude's. When he walked across the stage to receive the gold medal, he wasn't wearing the tattered clothes from years ago, but he still had the same worn-out shoes he had walked 15 miles in. He had kept them as a reminder. As Mr. Thorne handed him the diploma, he whispered, "You taught this school more than we taught you, Elias." Elias didn't go back to the village as a boy of the dirt. He went back as a man of destiny. He went on to become a human rights lawyer, spending his life opening gates for those the world had forgotten. He proved that while the wind may blow against you, persistence is the sail that uses that very wind to pull you forward. Here are true life lessons from this story. 1. Persistence is a habit, not a moment. As Elias explained, persistence is the daily march. It is the small, repetitive actions, studying every night, waking up early, that lead to massive success. 2. Use your disadvantage as an advantage. Elias didn't have books, so he memorized what he read in the library. Because he had no notes in the dark, he developed a voice that came from the heart. Your struggles are often your best teachers. 3. Character silences critics. Elias didn't fight Julian with his fists. He fought him with his excellence. When you become undeniably good at what you do, your critics have no choice but to be silent. 4. The environment doesn't define the seed. A flower can grow through a crack in the concrete just as well as it grows in a garden, provided it refuses to stop reaching for the sun. Elias's journey shows us that the difference between a dream and a reality is the work you put in when no one is watching. Tenacity got him through the door, but persistence saw him through to the end. Now, we want to ask you, what is a dark hole moment in your life where you had to rely on what was inside you rather than what was in front of you? And after hearing how Elias defined persistence, how will you change your daily habits? In the story, mention at least 2 other words that are as difficult as tenacity and persistence, or probably more difficult than them. Tell us their meaning if you know them. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We surely read every one of them, and your story might be the inspiration someone else needs today. Thank you for watching Silent True Lessons. Subscribe and turn on notifications to join our community of learners and seekers. Until the next video, goodbye.